Well, today is the day. Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome to Frontier Pilot Simulator. This game is finally fully released, and after many updates and many years of tracking this one down, well, today's video is sponsored by the developers of Frontier Pilot Simulator, and we're going to take a look at all the new things that have been added since our last video, and just welcome the inaugural release of version 1.0 of this game. It's going to be a fantastic ride today as there's new destinations to go to. We have 3 different aircraft to fly with too. We're taking a look here at the, I believe the Scarab is the name of the ship for now, and then we have the Blenna and the Ox to fly around as well. 2 medium and large size ships that look really good, and this game simulates flight very well on a distant planet where it's being colonized for the very first time. So there's a lot of building of bases and factories and power plants and laboratories and such. We're going to go ahead and see if we can get some upgrades here for our ship and or buy a new ship. I think we'll buy the big boy here for 69,000 credits, so we'll go ahead and buy that one and hit the button a couple of times there to confirm. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Right. So now we got one of the bigger ships in the game. That's what you wanted to see, right? Yeah, me too. So in this game, we can actually have realistic flight takeoff. We can taxi around on the runway, and there's actually taxi lanes and realistic winds and such. If we take a look at the flight mode here, you can actually see where the wind is blowing and such, and it should kind of simulate, although I don't see it at the moment, but there should be arrows and such pointing around in different directions where the wind is being blown, and of course you got to worry about your current. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. So right, every ship in the game has a different type of cargo capacity, this being a larger ship where we can carry a large amount of cargo. Oh, beautiful sunny day. All right, perfect, just in time for the video. Fantastic. Well, again, if you want to check this one out too, make sure you check down below in the description. Check the other games videos on the channel to see the development over time. The developers have done a fantastic job of adding all sorts of different features and such, error reports that have really improved the game's performance from when I first started playing it. Right now we're in the tutorial-like area where the first ship that you saw there, the Scarab, will be perfect to fly around to these different bases that are doing research samples, and there's passengers that need to go between these destinations. A lot of volcanoes too. So basically think of Iceland as your first starting island, and there's other islands to the north and south, but the biggest island in the game is right over here. Yeah, this bad boy right over there is going to be where we're going to do most of our business. If you want a game that's like Star Citizen or No Man's Sky, or if you like Microsoft Flight Simulator or any flight simulator, and you know, if you always wanted to transport things on a distant planet but not necessarily in space, then this is definitely the game for you. Some pretty good explanation as to why you can't leave the planet's surface, and all sorts of cool pieces of technology, including a new island called Hell, which will have ice everywhere. We'll try to take a look at that here today, as well as a new tanker they've added, and we'll make our way towards the tanker and then to the regular transit hub, where we can then kind of, it's kind of like an international airport outside of the large area here, where we can use it as a transition between the tutorial area and some small and medium-sized jobs to the big O jobs here. But of course, any ship is relevant at any time based on the job. No need to bring the giant monstrosity here to go pick up a couple of passengers. It would be a waste of fuel and whatnot. But you want to see it take off. I know, me too. So let's go ahead and take off then. Oh yeah, baby. There we go. Excellent. So we have first and third person controls, or rather views in the game. We also have the ability to see the volcano that's erupting over there on the side, so we need to be cautious about that one. We're just going to try to make our way and take a little tour here today as we hopefully set our destinations to the tanker. That'll be to our right then. 46 nautical miles to the tanker. It's a very beautiful game, I must say. There's not a lot in terms of plants and such on this part of the island. Again, it's mostly like Iceland meets maybe Norway, you know, with all the active volcanoes, but also fjords and such. Kind of looks like a combination of the two. We'll make our way then towards the destination, and we'll hit it into flight mode here very shortly. I've done all sorts of things in this game, from delivering cargo to other flying ships in the air, to delivering things to giant sand crawlers, kind of like in Dune, where there's literally an aircraft carrier in the sand that you can then switch to, there we go, switching to airplane mode, and try to make an actual delivery that way. You can actually fly to it as if you were an aircraft, so. Oh, wow. Look at that. Woo! We got a whale down there. Or something. The game does a good job. The developers primarily Russian do a good job of speaking English and showing that there's a lot of different nations and interests on the planet, so you hear a lot of different accents and such. And in this case, this tanker almost looks more like a cruise ship to me. Look at that. Wow. Oh, never mind. That definitely looks like a tanker. Hi there, buddy. Wow. I'm not sure exactly what they're transporting, but that is very cool. Ah, look at that. That wind is actually affecting our approach. That's so cool. And of course, this building has to be built on a volcano. I mean, you know, you gotta have a sweet volcano base. You can actually see the runway there, too. Going from left to right. Very nice. Now, there's no, from what I understand, there's no real need for ATC in this game. You don't need to do a request landing or announce final approach or anything like that, but it does a good job, at least, of simulating the taxiing from the runway to a landing zone if you'd like to. We're going to now go into the VTOL mode and try to land at the regular transit building. And we've got about 51 seconds to do this, so no pressure at all. Now, this is, of course, a more advanced ship, so by this time you're going to be a much more experienced pilot. And it's been a while since I played, so but I'm delighted to be back. So it is a good opportunity to see what's changed. And damn, does it look beautiful! They've definitely stepped it up and made improvements. And this game. There's not too many games out there that I can say really communicate with their community. They've done a fantastic job of being open and honest about all the things that they have planned, technical issues that they encounter, and they're just really a good bunch of people to...
Welcome to our port. Our hangars and trading terminals are at service 24/7.
There you go. There's the accents as well. Oh boy. Well, you know, close enough. It'll buff out. Good. Well, luckily we're close to where we need to be, so that'll buff out. It's fine. Here's the example then of the insurance. So there's upgrades that we can get for our ship too, and of course I took a little bit of a detour to show it off. But again, customization options for your ships are very important here. So though we crashed, we now receive a ship similar to ours with identical equipment. So if that happens to happen to you, then the good thing to note is that all the upgrades and such that you get back when your ship is insured like that. And you can also get upgraded engines, or for example, probably one thing that we need is more like the maybe a something to, yeah, look at that, consumption's reduced of power by 92%. Wow, power consumption when scanning in AR mode. Oh, okay. So that's just a power mode that's for AR scanning. But yeah, plenty of customization for these ships that allow them to be longer range, more powerful for heavy cargo, and you can have different multiple setups for whatever cargo you're going to be transporting. So yeah, even though we've that'll buff out, but yeah, even though we crash, we spawn here, we get a new ship, we can customize it, and we can add more stuff. And the customization options are quite nice. We can actually customize our ship colors, and yeah, check that out. So if we wanted to, we can make our ship completely red or blue or yellow, and so it kind of it's more yeah, there you go, some preset colors. It's a little more personalized that way, and it's quite nice that way. If you want to make your own company and keep these 3 ships looking like the same colors. If you want to simulate FedEx, go for it. Why not? And we can also name our ship. What? That's new. That's cool. So we can actually name it the... oh, this is called the Sky Serpent for the Archon. Okay, cool. Well, let's go ahead and get a different ship then. I do want to show you some of the other 2 ships that we can fly. This is a good opportunity to fly around a little bit. And now we can have the Ox as well. So we'll make a purchase on the Ox, which is my favorite medium-sized ship. Ah, there we go. So the Ox is a perfect combo between the medium and the large-sized ship. This is really the Bellina, or however you say it. I think it means bull. That ship is basically like 2 flying whales. The Ox literally feels like an ox, and the Scarab kind of feels more like a pickup truck. This feels more like a delivery van. in terms of how it all operates. Okay, well, here's what we're going to do. I would like to take a look at the smaller ship first. I don't want to spoil myself of this big ship just yet, but again, you can spend all day spending your hard-earned money in the customization option, adding all sorts of different things that really affect your transportation and your travel. And yeah, definitely get those fuel upgrades, consumption upgrades, so that we can travel a little bit more. But remember, don't be like me. Don't you know, make a tour a little bit too long. There's probably reasons to go to that tanker too to pick up and drop off cargo. So there was more than likely a way for us to land at the tanker too. The hangars are fully automated, and they'll come out and pick us up. We can refuel here. And like I mentioned with the tanker, we probably would have been able to refuel there too and actually get additional fuel to make our travels a little bit longer. Maybe. All right, let's take a look at our smaller ship. I want to show that off now. So let's go to the, let's see, ships. And we'll take a look at the Scarab for now. There we go. Now, previously I had mine painted blue, and I think you can have multiple of these ships. You can buy 1 or 2 or 3 of them, I believe, and customize them. If not, you can always return to these hangars and install things that you purchased. So, for example, if one time you're hauling heavy cargo and you're super fuel inefficient, and then you want to uninstall that upgrade, you can do that at pretty much any time. Let's do a little takeoff. I love the runway system in this game. Again, no ATC. It's super, you know, casual on what you need to do. You know, you're just the only one here, basically, and you get to take off and whatnot. It would be an interesting multiplayer game, although I think the experience here is better in single player for now, and there could be options for that in the future for anybody wanting to see a little bit more of that. Okay, well, this ship does not take very long to... I don't even know if this thing has a airplane mode. Oh yeah, it doesn't have an airplane mode at the moment. I think we can get an upgrade to turn this from a VTOL ship into a airplane, but it's still pretty cool. Let me figure out how to go inside the ship here, and let's see if we can go into like a first-person mode. I'd like to be able to see that. So if we press T, this is a good opportunity for us to pick up passengers as well. So if you see somebody standing by the tarmac and they want a ride, or they're trying to proposition you for a transportation from one place to another, you press T and you can open up that cargo bay. It's the same for all 3 of the ships. You can pretty much do that at any time. Uh-oh. Have we angered the volcano? Uh-oh. Let's take off real quick and take a look at that. Kind of zip around a little bit. And for your first few missions, you'll be basically just this little delivery pickup truck, kind of hauling cargo over the mountainous regions in the starting area, and then working your way back to the initial starting area too, and getting little upgrades as you go on. And of course, avoid the too high altitudes. Ooh, nice radio chatter. Woo! Yeah, you know, in terms of this being a realistic flight simulator, they've really gone a little bit further. It definitely feels more like a somewhat of a fantasy game in terms of like technology that doesn't quite exist yet. But the fact that they put in weight, and that you can have flaps up and adjust your flaps, and worry about altitude and wind resistance and cargo weight, and having to calculate that in conjunction with how far you need to go. It's pretty impressive. Not to mention there's wildlife. You can see all these birds and stuff flying around. And the sun, how beautiful. Now here the landing gear should come out pretty automatically. But this will be an example of a somewhat successful landing, I suppose. The smaller the ship, of course, the easier it is to handle. But that's not always true based on the weather. And keep in mind that our cargo, if we were to have heavier cargo, we'd be using a lot more fuel, especially for VTOL takeoff and landings. Nice little landing camera here, too. If you're in first-person cockpit mode, it'll actually show that to you when you're landing. So it's almost like parking assist. So we can see here we should zip forward a little bit to the left. And good enough for a YouTuber? Let me zip over a little bit, try to... Actually, can I lean? Yeah, there's got to be controls for roll. This is a little bit more about pitch and yaw right now, but We'll just put her down here, and that'll be fine. Oh, actually, let's take some damage on purpose. Do we see damage? I believe there's a way now to bring up the damage. Oh, this is all of our flight controls, of course. Let's go ahead and actually set it down while we do this. Okay, so on the left side here, you can see the landing gear was a little bit damaged, as well as the HUD. If you take a look there, the hull is now at 92%, and the landing gear is also slightly damaged too. So as you fly through certain terrain, you might take damage, and so you always come back here to do your repairs. Now there's all sorts of different controls on the map and all that stuff. So contacts and advanced ship controls. You press F1 at any time that you're panicked, and boom, you've got a pretty much pretty well detailed but yet very simple way to explain how to basically play everything. There's also a very nice way to customize all your own controls. So if you don't like how any of this is set up and you want it set up differently, or set it up separately for a flight stick versus a controller, let's say you want to do VTOL with controller but want to switch to a flight stick for flight mode, you can do that as well. So there's a hell of a lot of options for doing things to your liking, which is very nice. Alright, we should be able to kill the engines here. There we go. Actually, I think we can use thrust to move, but we can also move with our landing gear as kind of a little motorized landing gear that'll push us around without the engines having to be on. But that'll be it for the little Scarab for now. I like this ship a lot, but I've always had trouble with it because it's so it's so hard to learn for the first for your first little excursion. But again, all that cargo is kind of randomly generated, and the destination in which it wants you to go to is also kind of random too. And obviously, if you're looking to make money, the heavier the cargo, the more rare the cargo, and the longer the distance they want you to take it is definitely going to give you a lot more money. Let's see what we got here. Power plus 20. So I don't know about you guys, but yeah, this is probably my favorite ship in the entire game, and I just feel it has a lot more options and versatility, but I think that's what it's designed for. The bigger ship is obviously for massive cargo, as where this one's kind of more about longer distance, and it's more for reliability and whatnot. Okay, so these are all upgrades for a separate ship, and these are upgrades for... These are the current setups for our ship, so we can go ahead and customize then with the paint if we want to. Service and repair. Looks like we're good to go on that one. Let's go to customization mode then. Alright, so let's go ahead, and I like the name for this one. Oh, we can see stats too. Oh, nice. We can oh, there you go. Perfect. You can see the lifting force for this is 4.56 tons, so make sure you don't take any cargo that's close to that, I would say. Don't even get close. Always have a little breathing room. And let's see if we've got some pre-made ones here. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice too. Let's go with the big red. That's nice. And there's the alpha too, but yeah, that's like your day one. And we can change our camera position so we can see it. This kind of looks more like a medical ship now. But I think what we could do is, if we are not happy with this... we can install this now, and I think we can customize the colors even further. So if we want this red to be blue, we could change this to a blue color too. I mean, this, yeah, there you go, or black or whatnot. Yeah, so you can just use the sliders and change everything. There you go. Black and blue, whatever you want. Saturation, yeah. Ugh. Right, but anyway, you get what I'm talking about. So that's cool. All right, let's go ahead and see if there's any upgrades. I didn't think there were anything important for it. A lot of these are not for this ship, which I think if this isn't available for this ship, it should just say, you know, no upgrades available for this ship, just so you can go between the three or whatnot. All right, that's cool. Let's take a look at the map and find somewhere to go now. We'll try to go to Hell Island. Okay, so we want to go to, I think we could probably stop at Bori to refuel, and then go to the Hell platform. And let's see where Hell is. I've tried to look around for this before, but I have no idea. Looks like all the destinations we can go to are marked on the map here, either in the upper northwest section or here on this main island that I usually refer to as Donut Island. Donut look pretty? Okay. Well, let's go ahead and take off. Let's do this. I also like switching between mouse and keyboard when I play too, and controller. You can do that on the fly without having to like set anything. So if you like to use the D-pad for your pitch and roll and yaw and things like that, you can do that. But if you want to press like X or 1 or 2, you can do that as well. Alright, let's go ahead and take off. It's a beautiful morning. Oh, damn. Wow, that's impressive. Wow. Yeah, they've definitely stepped things up in all directions. I've got to admit, I'm rather impressed, honestly, about the performance improvements in this game, too. At the start, it was somewhat difficult to play because the game would have stuttering and performance issues that would make it harder to fly, which is why I probably have nightmares with the Scarab. But these seemingly have all been improved and or resolved. So the developers have done a fantastic job with that, so hats off. Okay, so now we are in flight mode. We're going to take off like an aircraft, and then we're going to start making our way to Bori now. We're getting alert. Don't know why. That's probably fine. Let's go. That's fine, it'll buff out. Oh man, there's so many cool destinations to take off from like that. Alright, let's do it one more again, boys. So our rate of descent now is about 11 meters per second. And our speed is about 115 and decreasing. Much better this time around. The landing is definitely the hardest part in any of these flight games, but in this game especially, there's a lot more to consider. It's not difficult by any means, but, you know, a few failed landings and you'll kind of figure it out. Okay, we're going to try to increase to like 22. Interesting coming in like this. Very cool. So this seems to be a large oil rig or some sort of a drilling platform or research platform somewhere off the coast. And there's ships going around. There's lore to explain all this stuff as to like what that off our port side there, that little plane ship thing. It's like tourism going on or scientific research or whatnot. It's really cool that they attempt to explain what everything is and why it's going on and who's responsible for it. Lore. Alright, coming in for a nice landing. Oh, that's interesting. It's literally just a landing pad here. Oh, we're about 100 meters above it. Now, I'll say the easiest controls are probably with the flight stick, but the most comfortable controls have probably been with this Xbox controller, though it's not as precise, but it's close. All right, I think we're good to drop in here, literally. There we go. It almost feels like landing the F-14 on the carrier deck of Top Gun. Oh boy. That will be close, but that's the best we can hope for here. And we've reduced our thrust. We're just waiting for it to come down now. 8 meters, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. There we go. Ah, we did it. So now we can take jobs from this destination if we want to. Let's cut the engine there. You get a lot more thrust when you're actually on the platform too, which is something that's really difficult to consider. The closer you are to this hard surface, the more thrust that it generates, so you really got to feather that throttle down when it lands. It's a little more complicated than it would seem. You'd think just like lower speed, but no. There's a little bit more to it than that. Just a little bit. Okay, we're going to go ahead and back into the... I don't know why it's putting the engines on. I would like to use the... There we go. Just use the landing gear. Woo, that was a close one. But now we're going to refuel. Nice. So this is where we'll pick up cargo. We could buy the empty G-type batteries or the bio-subluminate whatever not, can-C whatnot. All this different stuff is giving us different prices, and we can also recharge here. So this is all stuff that they want shipped out. So I think we actually have to buy it too. We basically buy and then resell, I believe. But then we're reimbursed for its delivery. So it's like a kind of a... it's like a transport fee that we get once we reach our destination. Okay, well let's go to the Hell platform now. It'll be kind of the same drill. And we'll head up towards that destination and see what's up that way. Should be a good time. So let's get out of this menu. This must look really beautiful during the daytime, but this ocean definitely looks chilling. There's areas that appear tropical, desert. There's areas that are like Tiaga and more cold, that type of thing. Cool stuff, bro. Alright, on to the Hell platform. I'll see you guys in Hell. I've always wanted to say that. Alright. Boy, coming in for these landings is just so cool every time. Looks like there's other areas that can be landed on, but they're not appropriate for this size of ship, maybe? Huh. And we'll come in backwards, and then we can adjust ourselves. And, oh, it looks like there's actually a hangar here. Very nice. And there we go. All right, getting better each time, I'd say, huh? Very nice. Looks like there's a request from a passenger for a transport there. I like how he's standing literally on the platform. Not a good spot to be there, buddy. You might want to reconsider standing on that platform like that. Right. So I believe this is the gateway to the new area, the Hell Island. So we'll refuel and see where that is. Well, there it is, a whole brand new island for us. The Edwin Perry's platform, the Ross Plateau, the Eastern Hell, and the Crystal Port. We're going to try to see all that as we fly up there. We'll need to get back to the Hell platform then after we leave here at regular transit with the current ship that we have, the big boy. We're going to fly the biggest one this time around. I like the Ox a lot, but this one's just going to be just as good, so that'll be fine. Oh, do we actually have upgrades for this one? Let's see, landing gear. Already installed. Oh, alright, so we already got a lot of basic upgrades for this one. Ready to go. I've also painted it green for obvious reasons. It's going to be a lot easier to see our ship when we're flying around with green and blue when we're flying over a giant white territory. Alright, so we're ready, we're fueled up, And I think we're going to head out here then. But would like to make our way to the end of the runway. So we flew the Ox up there, we've seen the Scarab, and now we're also seeing the game in its fully upgraded version to the full release. So now we're taking a look at some things that may differ between the previous versions and now. So it's quite cool to see the map extended. It's been a long time since we've actually seen any new islands that were completely different like that. So we'll get to the end of the island and we'll take off. Alright, now we're ready to go and see the frozen lands of hell. So let's go ahead and roll out onto the runway. I'd like to take off the other way, but there's a giant mountain in the way. But we'll just have to execute a right turn once we come out of here. So let's go ahead and deploy for flight mode. And let's begin. Look at how cool that looks, man. So what you're seeing here now, too, is the fully upgraded release version, too. Before, when I showed you some things, I was showing off a previous save file of... ooh, boy, that is windy. A previous save file of the previous runs of all sorts of other locations that we had been to and whatnot. Now in this updated version, we'll be able to see a little bit more on a whole new island. So we're going to make our way to the Hell platform now. Oh, this will be fun. Let's make sure we got everything laid out. Okay. Ah, the tanker should be behind us as well. Alright, 31 kilometers away. Wind's blowing us off course a bit. This is a great way to be able to see through clouds and to be able to see everything around you in inclement weather. Seamless transition between those two modes too. Look at that. That's just really smooth. My biggest concern here is any sort of lag that would interfere with flying, but there's really nothing here. It's pretty impressive. Alright, we're almost to the Hell platform. Alright, here we come. Let's go. Let's see if we can stick the landing here. Alright, as we get a little bit closer to the bottom here, we'll have a giant increase in thrust once we hit that landing pad. Landing is a little bit more important than being straight and level at the moment. Beautiful, baby. Very nice. Okay, let's see. Well, now we're here. Let's charge up and get ready to take off again. We can probably make some changes here for our equipment. Maybe some upgrades or whatnot. But this seems to be more of a repair platform and whatnot for storage of larger equipment and servicing. Alright, recharging. Okay. So let's take a look at the map again. So we're ready to leave here. And let's take a look at where we're at. So we're at the Hell platform. We want to go north to the plateau. And then we can fly across to each of these destinations if we want to. Probably not going to spoil everything, but I do want to see the planet today, so let's go ahead and take off and get out of here. And away we go. All right, our first look at Hell. Here it comes. Well, we'll be there soon. Damn, look at that ship. Beautiful, man. Alright, so I don't know if we're going to see a new airfield here or what the landscape will look like. We'll probably arrive at night and we'll see what the daytime looks like as well. It's going to be pretty cool. We're getting closer. Damn, the sun looks fantastic. The clouds look great. Oh, it's loading in here. Oh, this is it. The ice planet, baby. Or I guess the ice island. Feels like we're visiting a new planet. Wow. Giant icebergs all around. Man, this looks incredible. Let's see what Ross's Plateau looks like. It's probably a runway then, if... Ah, yes, we have a giant runway there. Oh, look at that. Oh, and the buildings here look much different, too. We got a VTOL landing site and a runway that runs out to the ocean. Very nice. Let's take a look at Eastern Hell. Look at these mountains. Incredible. Man, this thing is much more fuel efficient than I had thought. But I suppose this one's better at long flights and not so great at VTOL. The Scarab's fantastic at VTOL, and the Ox is kind of okay at both without upgrades. Well, that's interesting. Some sort of a... Oh, it's built onto the side of a cliff. Interesting. And there's a large runway up onto the side of the mountain. That's cool. Wow, some of these mountains are massive. Oh, let's go see the port. That area was really foggy, but man, do I love that. If that is a runway that's built onto the side of a mountain like that, that is incredible. The fact that rather than bulldozing the side of the mountain, they just decided to like build braces into it, that's cool. And here's Crystal Port. Let's come in for a landing here. We'll need some fuel for our jump over to Edwin Perry's Plateau. Ooh. Planet off in the distance. Oh, landing here is going to be interesting. You can see the aircraft out there, the larger ship over there too. They're pumping fuel or something out there. Ooh, birds. Careful. Oh, I can barely see. Oh. Woo. Wow, we can barely even see anything here. That's crazy. But that's why we go into this VR mode. Alright, let's go ahead and get fuel. We can pick up passengers and all sorts of stuff here, just like all the other areas. Probably get a ton of money for transporting something from this area to somewhere else. Looks like there's shellfish to sell here too, so large fishing port. Crazy, man. Let's go ahead and see if we can park a little more centralized. There we go. Alright, we're fueling up, and we're going to go to our last destination in hell. I suppose we can wait until daytime and see what it looks like at sunrise. Let's do it. Well, that is honestly one fine, beautiful morning here. Let's go ahead and get ready for takeoff and go to one of our last destinations then of the new island. So with the Crystal Port, or Point, is it? Yeah, Port. And we're going to the platform then, Edwin Pearl's platform, which looks like it's out on the water. I don't see any other locations here, but that doesn't mean that there are not other locations to pick up from, though this seems like it could be more for fishing and research than any sort of heavy mining. Well, let's go ahead and get ready to go. I don't remember if there's an airstrip here. No, this is kind of a smaller port. So not too much here except for just the landing pad, although I would argue that I'd love to see some sort of maybe a runway jutting out into the water. That'd be cool. Really, really cool. Alright, let's go ahead and get ready to jump to Edwin Pearl's Perry's platform. I will say, too, that in this time that I've been playing this again after a hiatus for about a year, in the time that I've just been doing this recording, I've kind of de-rusted in a lot of the controls and feeling for just handling the aircraft in general. Again, as I've stressed many times, that weight is going to be the real killer if you're not ready for it in terms of like hauling heavy cargo. This game is like a nice combination of really just chill space trucker meets, you know, flight sim. And I think we need more games similar to this where they kind of create something new out of something that kind of already exists in real life. All right, we'll go ahead and zip over there, 9 kilometers across the bay. Love the look of this ship, man. I love the Ox, but this thing, it always seems way bigger than it actually is. In retrospect now, I'm thinking, wow, this thing's basically just like a... it feels like the size of maybe a 747, really, which is big, but not that big. Ah, there's the platform there. So they're doing some sort of drilling then. It's a drilling platform, I would imagine. Let's go ahead and get ready to land. Ah, there we go. Interesting. So there's a lot of landscape here to this one. It's certainly gorgeous and feels like a combination of the second island, though very, very small, and the first island with all the beautiful... Look at that, the ice shelf and stuff. That's cool. You can see actual ice and actual, like, hardened stone and stuff together. Ooh, this is going to be risky to land here. That platform actually has some dangerous flames and fire coming out of the top, so they must be refining or mining some sort of gas here. I tried before to flip around 180. Let's see if we can do it this time around. We need to increase our thrust quite a bit. And let's see if we can back into that space. Jeez, I need like Tesla park assist. You know what? I'm just going to put it down here because I don't want to risk it. I want to end on a good note. So I'm going to just try to plop it down right here. Maybe this will be a somewhat decent landing. Oh, no. No way. Well, kind of. Nice. Oh, decent. Wow, this is like Ryanair level. Damn. Incredible. Ooh, that thing's got electricity or something flowing through it. Very cool. Very cool indeed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, Frontier Pilot Simulator out now on PC. Definitely check this game out with the link in the description. Grab yourself a controller or a joystick and consider this to be just a fun little economic simulator. There's no combat or warfare in this one, but it definitely comes down to you battling the elements of rain and water and weather and mountains and wind as you deliver cargo and upgrade your ship. And I must say that this game has definitely delivered on a lot of the promises and is far better than I ever could have imagined from a game that started out so small as a neat little niche idea, and I'm delighted to see it actually coming to fruition today. If you guys want to check it out, again, description. Today's episode sponsored by the devs. I had a lot of fun. I'd like to know where you're watching from, too, here today, just so I can say hello to all of you down below in the comments section. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Take care, have a great day, and thanks for flying with me. Goodbye.